is it that you and me can crowd inside such a place, and at the same time it turns out we disgrace ourselves? You more play with your gun and your bomb again. Oh, aeroplane, you gain my respect. Oh, but the bomb from your bellies I regret. Oh, a rocket for fireworks, so I celebrate. Oh, and the rocket to the moon I celebrate. Oh, but the rocket to the city and to the homes that we hold sacred. Oh, I condemn you, rocket, to burn your burning hell. See the way you light and you come shining. More regret into the violence you design. Mental everything I'm needing is you. And everything we need is in you too. Push away. Oh, don't push away. Boys and toy soldiers. Boys and toy soldiers. Boys and toy soldiers. Dip on the grave. Coming one in a million into it. Well, touch, feel, how can this rhythm ever quit? Bags, bags, on a plane, over to heaven, oh yeah. Shout out, I had a clue, now it's gone forever, sitting over these bones. You can read it whatever you're needing to keep all your sights on. Man of black eyes changing colors, and not the colors that matter. Let we all fade away, yeah, yeah, yeah. And life goes on, end of tunnel, TV sets spiked in the middle, static frames start to still bend. Soon I'll fade away, I'll fade away. But this I am, it seems so good, hard to believe I'm into it. Well, that is bare, nothing, it's all inside of it. The walls and halls have disappeared, have disappeared. I went up, go be push it there.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28th, 1998. And if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Free my boy Dodo. Free my boy Shotgun. Shout out to everyone who's got ticket confirmations this week. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. If you listen to the intro, that was Toy Soldiers into Warehouse from DMB Live 25. Now, when we look at this show, this is a special show back in 96, Pine Knob, Clarkston, Michigan. I'm going to pull up that set here. 96 was a magical year. It definitely was. And you had Crash. Crash took over. So for Pine Knob, that's not it. I'm trying to pull this up here, show you guys the set list. Let me see. $622, 96. So this right here, we have Toy Soldiers in the Warehouse. And Toy Soldiers all time has only been played 3 times. This was the last time it was actually played. And it is a beautiful, beautiful song. It was only 3 times, and I wish it was still around. Like many great DMB songs, just disappeared. It was road tested, played for a little bit, and disappeared. It probably will never come back, but I hope I'm wrong on that. But this Toy Soldiers in the Warehouse you guys listen to is a special moment. It is my favorite version of Warehouse just because of Toy Soldiers going into it. All of these mid-90s Warehouses are awesome. And if you notice, the Warehouses from this era, they weren't that long, right? I mean, the modern Warehouse isn't much longer, but you don't need, like, sometimes less is more. Actually, all the time with DMB, less is Leroy Moore. That's how I feel. Less is Leroy Moore. It is just, I just feel that these mid 90s warehouses are the best of what's around for it. You have a couple of things why I think this. First off, Dave's guitars they were much more percussive. Now, his guitars in the 2000s were better overall guitars, but I love the warehouses with the Chet Atkins, even with I believe is the Ovation type guitars. They just the way that it's more percussive with those type of strings and the fretboards and all that and the sound. Those mid 90s warehouses to me are the best. Mid to late 90s warehouses. And there's going to be a contest. I know I've shouted her out before. DM Brianna 10 out in the Pacific Northwest. She has been doing some awesome things with, you can vote for the best version of Warehouse. So we're going to pull up her page again, follow her on Instagram, and there'll be more information on what are the final versions that are going to make it, right? What are the final versions that are going to make it? But DMB Brianna 10, follow her on Instagram, and then there'll be a comment place for you to vote. Now, right now, we have the rules of engagement. Entry must be on this post if you want to put an entry. Now, I think it's closing down soon. Oh, the top 5 versions will be announced Saturday morning for the final round of voting. And entry must be on this post. Feel free to share and lobby for your favorite version. Dave Matthews Band's versions only. No Dave and Tim, no Dave and Friends. Include album, date, and entry. 1 entry per person. So I'm going to put mine in right now with you guys. So we're going to do this right here. She already tagged me, and thank you for including me in this discussion. Let's see. So I'm going to say, so as I did this before with you guys. We wrote a comment in here. So I'm going to say Toy Soldiers Warehouse 6/22, 1996. Pine. Let's make sure that's right. 6/22/96. Yep. All right, so there we go. I'm posting that there, and stay tuned. Again, DM Brianna 10. There. Let's see, vote. Let's see who's in the chat. Mike says, how about the warehouse from Gorge last year? Full band with no Carter and Stefan was different for sure. I still think, to be honest, like anything post Leroy Moore, it was definitely different. I actually thought it was cool how you had the absence of drums and the absence of bass, and then there was Tony Hawk came in. Last year's Gorge will be a weekend I never forget, just because of how unique it was. But to me, the Roy era warehouses, there's nothing in this modern era that can stop it, even with the revamped little like outro that they have, and the trumpet. And that's actually an area where Rashawn does actually work. Rashawn actually works in warehouse. A trumpet actually belongs in warehouse. There's lots of DMB, classic DMB. A trumpet really doesn't belong, to be honest. But I will say that the trumpet does have a great spot. But I still think, listen, I think and Carter, when Carter was smacking on them drums too. Carter's kind of toned down on the drums. But to me, there's nothing that beats it. But that is a good one, Mike. I will say that. That's a good one to put up, because it was unique, right? We're never going to see anything like that again, barring people getting sick. We don't hope we hope that no one gets sick. And then, that's the Nancy's. All right, never mind. Yeah, so DMB Brianna, right? So I love that warehouse, and if you don't have DMB Live 25, purchase it. It is the best purchase I've ever made from the warehouse store. It even over all the live tracks. DMB Live 25 is a comprehensive catalog of a lot of great things, selected by fans. They actually had some people from Ants Marching suggest certain versions of songs. There are 25 songs for DMB, or 25 recordings for DMB Live 25. And I'll put it up on here. So we'll go to the Dave Matthews Band. And listen, this is a little more expensive. It starts in the $30 range, but it is the best purchase that you will ever make. Like I said, if you do not have this, purchase it. There's been some of these that have been played on DMB radio, but it's DMB Live 25. You can purchase it a couple of different ways, a couple of different levels. So you can buy MP3, lossless 16K, or lossless 24K. Just think of it, just the higher K, 24K is going to be your best version of it. 16K is going to give you some stuff. And this is MP3 quality. There was a vinyl, but that was a limited release. And here's the track list. All right, you got Seek Up, JTR, You Never Know, Don't Burn the Pig, The Stone, Shotgun, A Dream So Real, Busted Stuff, Kit Kat Jam, Lover Lay Down, Doobie Things, Snow Outside, Warehouse, Say Goodbye, 41, Don't Drink, Big Eye Fish, Raven, 34, Back You Up, Bartender, Falling Off the Roof, Break For It, Rhyme and Reason, What You Are. There's just a lot of awesome stuff on this. It's just an awesome 25 great selections. Again, the fans were considered, management reached out to fans and considered that as part of it. And I just think it's awesome. And you get some rare cuts like Doobie Thing, The Toy Soldiers, Falling Off the Roof. These are songs that were hardly played. A Dream So Real. Did I mention A Dream So Real? Oh, did I say A Dream So Real? I cannot say enough. Awesome recording. So purchase that on the warehouse. If you have a significant other, family member, loved ones, children, hey, tell them, hey, purchase this for you. 35 to 45 bucks. It's a nice gift that you can ask for, request. A wink, wink. Hey, purchase this for me. So that's what I really love that record, and I've studied and listened to it. All right, so today's show, and this is something that I'll probably share if people have questions. This is DMB ticketing 101. I'm going to break down the game to you, and just give you some behind the scenes things about ticketing. We have a couple of things up. I have some platinum seats and some things going on with Live Nation. We have a StubHub browser that's up, and you got your boy down here on the mic spitting the game to you guys here. So let's start off with a little bit of where we are in the ticket buying process. So right now, we are at the part where the warehouse requests have passed. The city pre-sale, you have a city card, you could have got some certain seats. Purchase it with your city card, and it's a pre-sale for card holders of Citibank only. That's passed. Next up is Friday, the on sale. Look at your local venue on Live Nation to see the local time when they go on sale. Look at ticket limits, accessible seating, and you'll be able to get more details. But search on Live Nation to get more details about when your local venue or the venue you're going to travel to goes on sale. Now, next, this on sale is not the end of the game. There is this thing called waiting it out and being patient, and that works too. Oh, Mike, you got your camping ticket yesterday, and crew got 3 pits so far. Congratulations. That's awesome. And I'll tell you this, for the gorge, if you can try to get your pits, try to get your lowers, but if you still are locked out, just be patient, wait it out, go to the gorge. There's plenty of tickets at the gorge. What you get, it's a physical warehouse ticket that people just have. A lot of people request tickets and they don't end up wanting to use them, or they're willing to trade for them. So there's always things that pop up. All right, so let's talk about we're gonna go over the StubHub. And I'm at one of the local venues by me, the Xfinity Theater in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Now you may be saying, hey, how are their tickets already on sale? Right? People don't know their section. You may have been, unless you got the pit, right? So you have the GA pit, which starts off 362 plus fees. Unless you were confirmed for the pit, you don't know where your uppers or lowers are. Or if you were confirmed for the lawn, you really don't know. So we're going to break down some stuff just to give you guys a history. I have worked at StubHub, actually in the fulfillment department. And just to break down, this was in the past. I am not employed there. Obviously, I wouldn't be talking about this stuff if I was still employed. And this is more common knowledge. I'm not, this is just more common knowledge stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is, how does StubHub work? Most people know this, but some people still don't. People think StubHub sells tickets. They do not sell tickets. Their individual employees can sell tickets, but it's not that. Stupid Almanac says season ticket holders, Xfinity Theater already have their season seats. Yes and no. Some people know where they're going to be, or they know their inventory. Some people, they still have to figure, they may be reassigned, but that is part of it. Yeah, they kind of know where they are, right? So we're going to actually talk about spec listing versus season seats in a moment. So what happens? StubHub has all sorts of sellers. Anybody can really sell on StubHub unless you've been barred, right? They can check your IP if you've done shady stuff, if you're not trustworthy, if you did something a couple of times wrong, or they think you're a fraudster, they won't let you sell. But an average Joe can sell. A ticket broker could sell. There's people who have jobs, like regular 9-to-5 jobs, and they just sell tickets on the side. There's people that actually work at a law firm or a marketing company, and they're in charge of just selling tickets that they have for their season seats on StubHub, right? So there's various people that can sell on StubHub, but essentially StubHub is just, the company itself runs this website. They control the interactions between buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers are not supposed to meet ever. That's the whole idea behind it. It protects the buyers. They never have to meet their seller. Now, obviously, if you sell seats next to you at a show, you'll meet them there. But like before the actual show starts, you're not supposed to meet them. Yeah, Stupid Almanac says people hit the like button. It hits the algorithm differently. Yeah, hit that like button. Everyone who's on here, hit that like button. It helps me. And then it'll get this thing to the top of YouTube. But essentially anyone can sell. Now, there are brokers, right? Ticket brokers who literally, right? Scalpers, as people call them. They sell on the site. But you do have average Joes and, like I said, people in between. So that's how it is. Pretty much there's different levels of selling. And now there are some things here that I want to go over as far as why are tickets so high. Now, this is just my conjecture. I have not this is what I believe just from my knowledge in the industry. You look right here, there's lawn seats for $76. Right. There is also, again, you look at right here, section 2. There are seats for $695. Now, some platinum seats are going to be $500, $600, but you have a lot of tickets that are very, very high. Right? Extremely high. And one of the reasons that you see a lot of these high price tickets, it's a couple of reasons. First, you have people who make drunk purchases. This happens. Now, right now, they may not make this purchase, but a couple weeks before the show or the week of the show, this ticket right here for $1,167, a seller may lower this price. And when you list on StubHub, you can actually set it so it slowly lowers over time automatically. You can say from February 23rd to June 13th, I want my ticket price to go incrementally down from $1,167 to $300. And over time, the computer will automatically lower it down, right? But the main thing is brokers and sellers do this for a couple of reasons. First off, if somebody buys this ticket at this extremely high price, they're going to make a sale. And all it takes is one or two of these type of things to happen. And again, it just takes someone who's drunk hitting the wrong button, and then that's the ticket sold, right? Now, there's exceptions. You can call stuff up. Hey, my son purchased the ticket. Sometimes they may make exceptions. I heard nowadays, I haven't worked there it's been at least 6 years since I worked there. But I've heard that they're a little less strict because they have come amongst hard times. Years ago, a decade ago, they were trying to promote more like customer service. So they would sometimes give you a coupon, and then they would just, relist, StubHub would relist the ticket to make back, or do something. They would give it away or use it as a giveaway. But I don't think you can do that anymore. I've actually heard it's hard to reach StubHub now. The customer service has taken a turn downward as far as even getting on the phone. So yeah, there's people try to find people who are going to bite. You also have extremely wealthy people that say, you know what? I want to go to this show. I have a lot of money. I'm a celebrity. I'm rich. I want to get a pit ticket, or I want to get a club seat, right? You can get a club box 2, A5. What's $700 if I'm Mark Wahlberg, right? I want to get box seats. I don't want to be with the general public, or I want to be close to the front. They'll buy tickets on StubHub. And there used to be a fan reward system, so they would just buy them, and just the idea of getting fan rewards would be good enough. And you could be like, hey, don't feed the scalpers, don't buy this. Listen, if people have money and they want to get seats, StubHub provides a medium where you don't have to meet sellers and you're protected. And if Ticketmaster is sold out, so yeah. And the thing is too, some people just look on stuff. You'd be surprised. Working here when I worked at StubHub, there's some people that will just buy off of StubHub. Now, years ago, and depending every now and then, people like you find really cheap baseball tickets, right? Really cheap concert tickets for lower demand shows. Or back in the day for DMB, there were a lot of more tickets below face value on StubHub the week before, especially when Mansfield had 2 shows, Hartford had 2 shows, Camden was guaranteed 2 shows. They were going to Bethel, and they were going to all these different stops, and they had over like 50 shows in a year, plus shows. You would have a lot of extra inventory, and you could find cheap tickets. So people just always trusted, hey, StubHub probably has the cheapest price. I'm not even going to look on Ticketmaster. So people do buy a lawn seat, even though it says $76. They may not even look on Ticketmaster. It's crazy, but that's how it is. Matt says, my buddy's tickets for John Mayer got messed up, and StubHub upgraded to floor for him. Believe it or not, yes, I used to handle those type of situations. So the one thing about StubHub, now again, if you have an issue, go to social media. If you have an issue with StubHub, go to social media. It'll be fixed immediately, almost immediately, right? But yeah, what happens is, and I've seen some of the reasons why, right? Sometimes people just don't have the tickets, right? Or they double sell the tickets, or they do some other, like it's just, they list for the wrong day, because there's an Xfinity Theater and an Xfinity Center. Xfinity Center is in Mansfield. Xfinity Theater is in Hartford. So they'll list for the Hartford show, and they'll put it on the Xfinity Center Mansfield website. So it's like, and there are different, now the sections can be a little different, but they may list a pit ticket for the wrong show. Or just certain brokers there's brokers who may list a ticket and the tickets get canceled, or they never, the source of the tickets never comes through and they get charged a fee, right? If you screw up, oh, Stupid Almanac, thanks for coming on. Thanks for reminding people to like. I really appreciate it, man. You got to take off, and best of luck with the kiddo there. That I know that's kind of your second full-time job. So have a good one. And yeah, so there it is. Like there's reasons why these tickets are listed so high. And the other thing too is, and this is sometimes why your friend may get upgraded. Ticket brokers and really top level sellers, they use ticket technology where you can have a program. It'll list your seats on Ticketmaster's Exchange, StubHub, SeatGeek. It'll list your same tickets across multiple platforms, and the program will, if it sells on one site, it'll automatically delete them off every other site. Oh no. All right, good luck, Stupid Almanac. So sometimes, like, what if you see the same tickets on a bunch of different sites and you're like, hey, what happens if it double sells? A lot of those people have a program that'll remove it off of all the other sites automatically. 99% of the time it works. The 1% of the time it doesn't work. That's when StubHub or SeatGeek or whoever gets the whoever doesn't get the first sale, you know, that broker or person has to call the other websites and say, hey, I messed up. These double sold. So that does happen from time to time. Also, some unexperienced sellers will list their tickets on multiple websites, and they don't, they're busy, and it'll sell on both sites. I would always recommend do not list your tickets on multiple sites if you can't make a show, and you just want to sell your tickets or make back what you have. Do not sell on multiple sites because you will get penalties, and it's like a lot nowadays. I've heard it's worse. You'll have to pay the price difference. You'll be charged the difference, or 10% or 15% of whatever they were supposed to sell for. Your credit card will be charged. So yeah, that's kind of, looking at like why are these tickets so high? It's because, listen, like I said, people will try to buy drunk. Brokers will list these high and lower them over time. And then, so what I want to talk about next, I want to talk about speculative listing versus season seats or season tickets. So let's just look at this. Let's look at right here. So season 2, because the pit is so large, there's M through Z, right? You see some tickets listed here. So let's look at Cover Pavilion 2, row N. Right? So Cover Pavilion 2, row N. Right? You'll pay $899 each. Hey, Luke, thanks for coming on. Hope all is well in Cuyahoga County. Oh, something went wrong. It's not you. Okay. So let's just say, or let's do Cover Pavilion row Y. Let's leave it right there. I'm not going to touch it. Someone may have these seats guaranteed 100% for the season, right? They may have them for the season. So they have season tickets for Cover Pavilion 2, row Y. They're going to list every single Xfinity Center show because they've renewed their season seats, and they know they're going to get that section and row. They don't know the seats just yet, but they know that section and row. So that may be the case. It may be a season ticket holder that has that seat. This seat also may be somebody spec listing. Now, what's spec listing? It's selling something that you don't have, and you're betting that you'll be able to get a ticket closer to the event that's in that same section and row, or a little bit closer for a lower price. So right now, this seat is $908 per seat. That's pretty expensive. if this is a speculative spec seat, right? We don't know the section and row. They don't know how they're going to get tickets, but a broker wants to get them. And Matt says, how often do you think people are buying tickets this early? I really think most people are not buying tickets on StubHub. I do think, however, I think that on the city presale and the platinum seats, when we get to that in a moment for Live Nation, I do think there's a lot of people that buy platinum seats by mistake. Most people are not buying on StubHub right now. It's just a lot of brokers who are trying to buy listings or people who are going to try to flip these. But it's not many people are buying on StubHub right now, but there are some people. It's a very small percentage. I would almost say less than 5% of people are buying right now on StubHub. But there are people that are going to buy a seat right now, and because they have the money, they don't care. You could say, hey, they're feeding the brokers. They don't care. They just want to get something, right? Some of them have the money, they're going to get it. But okay, so Cover Pavilion 2 row Y. If this is a speculative listing, it could be a ticket broker or just an average. There's people who do this who aren't technically brokers. They're just people, that have a job and they do this on the side. They may list these tickets for $908 each, and then they have a sale. Let's say someone buys these tickets in 2 weeks. So in March, someone buys these tickets. What they're going to do is, if the market goes down, if there's a section 2 row Y seat, a ticket broker or someone who's trying to spec list will buy seats in that section and row on StubHub or somewhere else. And they may pay $700 for those seats. But if someone paid $908, remember, I told you, people who are wealthy will just buy the seats. They don't care. They want to be really close. If someone buys them at $908 and a ticket broker can fill that order in the same section and row for $700, they're going to make a little bit of money on that price difference, that $200 or so per ticket. So what happens? The person who buys these in March gets the tickets delivered on, right the day before the show when the electronic tickets are ready, right? And those seats are not row Y, they're row M, right? That person's going to be happy because they paid a lot of money, but they're getting better seats than they thought. Or they're getting the same section and row, and they don't even know it's a spec listing. So this is something that brokers do. Now, this does not always pay off because sometimes a broker ticket prices may go up. So if the tickets are $908 right now, and then there's rumors or somehow Bella Fleck and the Flecktones are going to be performing, like Bella Fleck's going to be playing with the band the entire tour, and demand goes up. That ticket broker still has to fill that order in order to have good standing with StubHub. So they got to buy a ticket for $2,000 or $1,500 to fill that order. So it's just like the stock market or gambling. Sometimes brokers have to take a loss to fill that order. So it's a very risky game, but that's why you'll see tickets listed high. And it's very rare that you get an upgrade. Most times, if someone's spec listing, they're going to get the same section and row. And ticket brokers trade amongst each other too. So they're going to go to their buddies over in DC or New York. If the like Ace Ticket, because Ace Ticket, I know, Matt, you know Ace Ticket. Ace Ticket will list on StubHub, right? They'll list on StubHub, right? You'll see Ace Tickets. It's a ticket broker. They have their own site, but you'll see the same section and row on StubHub. So you'll see that happen, right? Where Ace Ticket can't find a section, a Cover Pavilion 2 row Y, they'll call someone out in New York City or call someone out in DC. Hey, do you guys have anything? Oh yeah, we got this. And they'll buy from them, right? And they'll fill the order that way. So there's a lot of risk in this because, again, sometimes like certain tours, the value of the tickets will actually go up. If you buy tickets for especially when like a BTS when Taylor Swift was on the rise, I remember sometimes those tickets would be higher closer to event date. You were better off buying like right now for Taylor Swift versus the week of. Like there's sometimes the demand just shoots up for certain shows. So it is a big risk. So that's spec listing. Is again, you're listing something you don't have. You buy another ticket to fill that order as a broker or as a seller, and then you fulfill the order same section and row. And the benefit of StubHub, I'll say this. The benefit of StubHub is when an artist overestimates their demand. This, I believe this would have happened in 2020 if there was no pandemic. DMB, their prices kind of got up a little more, and I believe that demand wouldn't have been as high for 2020's tour given what the prices were and what it was. Like, I really thought there were going to be a lot of great deals on the warehouse boards and on StubHub because the band was in this like flow of, all right, you have no violin. They're still great, but you had people that were checking out of the band because there was no violin. I still loved the band. I still wanted to go. But I predicted back then before the pandemic, I'm like, wait, we're probably going to get a lot of tickets hanging around. The pandemic has changed everything. There's many people that haven't been since the pandemic that are coming this year, so it's changed. But StubHub, even for hockey games, like I went to a New York Islanders game in a brand new arena, and I went to a Monday night game and got tickets well below face value for like dead center ice. I'll show you. Like this is. Let me just show you. The tickets I purchased were like over $200 face value on Ticketmaster, that section and row. I got the ticket for like, I think it was like $70. So let me just show you. This is why I still rock with StubHub. I don't like a lot of stuff that goes on with these brokers, to be honest. This is where I was sitting. This seat, I paid like $70 for this seat. In a brand new arena, the opening year on a holiday, Martin Luther King special game. But it was a Monday that people didn't want to go out there. Dead, like right at the blue line. Look at that. Perfect view for hockey. $70. Again, new arena. The face value of these seats is $200. Over $200. Right? Right behind the benches, right? Look at that. That's where I was. I saw everything for like $70. So I say all that to say, hey, that's what I like StubHub for, especially for sports. StubHub is great for sports. All right. So next we're going to move on to Live Nation. Okay. So, like I said, city presale. It's still kind of going on. If you want a single city presale ticket, you can buy these. Now, these city seats are going to be a little lower than the platinum seats, but you have to have a city card. And there's only singles left, right? That's why they're all here. People don't want to go by themselves. I recommend, listen, like, so I wouldn't pay $190. Like, that's way too much, right? But I recommend single tickets. I've gone to Mansfield, right? Going back to this map. I've gone to Mansfield on Ticketmaster and bought a single seat at face value, like right before, like the week of the show. And it had been sitting there the whole time because people didn't want to sit by themselves. Now, look at this is the official platinum. So what's going on with Ticketmaster? Ticketmaster does want to stop scalping. And they also, well, no, that's not true. Because actually, by the way, ticket brokers help save Ticketmaster. And here's how. Ticket brokers buy a lot of inventory. So if a concert has low demand, right? You may have a artist like 30 Seconds to Mars. They've done amphitheaters before, but now they're a shell of what they used to be. But a broker is going to buy a season seat. So 30 Seconds to Mars may not sell well, But Ticketmaster already has money from all these brokers. These brokers help Ticketmaster stay in business when there is low demand for events. So if you go to like one of these rare one-off amphitheater shows where there's a lot of seats open, a lot of times those seats are purchased by like brokers, and they just couldn't sell that ticket, right? Because the demand was so low in the upper level or the back corners or the lawn, right? So Ticketmaster does work with like they don't hate brokers. They don't like the perception of brokers getting their tickets and making money off them without them getting a piece of the pie. That's what frustrates them. So what did Ticketmaster do? First of all, Ticketmaster created their official resale um, tickets for concerts. They had them for sporting events for a while, but if you look back 10, 15 years ago, they didn't have a resale marketplace for actual concerts, just for sports. And a lot of those were for season ticket holders to sell to average people for sports. That was really what the first resale markets for Ticketmaster. The primary box office was with sports, and then it went to music because Ticketmaster wanted a piece of the pie. They didn't like that StubHub over here was getting all of the selling fees and the buying fees, and Ticketmaster saw nothing. Right? So Ticketmaster got in a war with StubHub, and they got in a war with ticket brokers in a certain way once StubHub took off. They would see tickets on StubHub and cancel the tickets, right? They would say, look, we're canceling this order. We see your listing over here. If they suspected ticket brokers were really making like selling a lot of tickets at high prices, they would just cancel their plan. And that's actually one of the things StubHub had to deal with, right? They guarantee the fan these seats, but a lot of times these ticket brokers were breaking rules to a point that Ticketmaster canceled their tickets. So they may have noticed that these ticket brokers were using the same credit card, the same address, and then buying up all these seats and using different 2 or 3 different cards, and they kind of tie them together and say, oh, it's this person, it's this broker. And they would cancel their tickets. And then StubHub had to replace that order with another order on site. That's kind of calmed down because what Ticketmaster now has done is they said, hey, we want to be broker. If anyone is going to make the money that off these outrageously priced tickets, it's going to be us. And I'll tell you, working for StubHub, I can tell you that there are people that buy seats for $500. Like this was years ago. There are people that say, again, they got money. So Ticketmaster does make money off platinum seats. People do buy them. Now, not everyone buys them, right? But let's just say 5 to 10 people buy platinum seats down here. $525 for lowers, right? $700 right here. $700. If you get 10 people, 10 tickets, right? Let's get a calculator out. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Bear with me. Right. So Ticketmaster, and by the way, a lot of people are like, there's a hatred for Ticketmaster. And I've talked to people that I know people who have worked there, and I talk to people and by the way, the people at the venue, even the box office people, they don't see a cut of this stuff from the platinum seats. This is going up to the corporate, level. But let's just say let's go right here. So we have $700. We're going to multiply this by, let's just say 10. Oops. Right? That's $7,000, right? So if 10 people buy that $700 price point, that's $7,000 plus fees, right? That they're going to make off that ticket. Let's say there's 15 events at this venue. Oh, times 15. That's $105,000. Okay. So $7,000 in platinum seats for a show. And this is just 10. I'm saying 10 to be generous, right? 10 at 700 is $7,000 a show times 15 events at that venue a year. And then Live Nation, so they get 105,000 from this venue. And let's just say they have 30 venues. So we're going to multiply it by 30, right? That's $3 million. So if platinum seats, now obviously you're not taking into account how much it would cost if it was like just $200, but a platinum seat, right? If a venue makes $7,000 off of lower platinum seats a show, and there's 15 shows at that venue, and you have 30 Live Nation venues, that's $3.1 million or $3.2 million that Live Nation is going to get in earnings. That's going to be revenue they can put in their earnings report for its stockholders. So they want to be a broker, because as much as people are against this, somebody is going to buy these, right? So if you get 7,000 in platinum seats, like I said, and you do that math, and then Live Nation Ticketmaster gets $3.1 million, that's a lot of money for a quarter. And then think about it. They have summer tours, there's fall tours, there's winter tours, there's spring tours. And the summer tour is going to bring in the most money. Well, actually, that's not true. It tends to have the most available like shows, and you have more people drinking and partying, so you get more liquor sales. The winter tours, although I will say the arena shows, they don't have a lawn, so like when they have 20,000 people at Madison Square Garden, they get more gate money from that concert than actually an amphitheater. But that's a whole different thing. And that's because there's no MSG does not have a $40 lawn ticket. The get-ins for MSG are going to be $60 to $80 for a Dave Matthews man, if not more, maybe $95 to $100 for the worst seats. So that's just a little bit of math and why platinum seats are there. Now, with platinum seats, these seats closer to event time, if you wait it out, they will go down. If they don't sell, they will go down in value. And there are tricks of the trade. And this is why you see tickets pop up closer to the event time. Sometimes the tickets that pop up close to the event time, people got canceled. It was a fraudulent buyer. StubHub and Ticketmaster, they deal with people who buy these seats with fraud credit cards, right? There's a lot of fraud, and that's every online retailer deals with that. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so these seats, a lot of times you'll see seats disappear and come back. This is a very popular tactic by Live Nation, right? So if I look at this map, let's just say I look at this map and all I'm seeing is these platinum seats, right? Now the seat next to this, seat 4, 103 row 4. Now let's just say it's after the on sale. Sometimes this seat may not have been sold to anybody, but they want it to show as a gray dot, so it makes it appear that, oh, wow, a lot of people are going to the show. You'll see tickets disappear, and then they'll pop back up again as primary box office tickets closer to event day. They'll release tickets by the mix board if the band doesn't request these tickets by the mix board in boxes. Like this last row right here, 102 row HH, they may say, all right, the band only needs 5 tickets in this row. Everything else is going to be released to the public. So you will see certain, it's not all the time, but you'll see certain games to make it appear like tickets are sold out, and they really aren't. You will see that. So that's why you have what you call ticket drops. Closer to the event, Ticketmaster will have certain tickets pop up on the map that you didn't even see in the on sale, or even all the time you've been tracking this show for 3 or 4 months. And wow, this ticket pops up, and hey, it's at face value. It's not even a platinum seat. Or hey, this was a platinum seat, now it's this, right? And even if you look on you look on my Instagram, I actually have some information on that right here. Let's take a listen. This is from Dead & Co.
My goal this year is to show you the games Ticketmaster plays. We're going to look at the Allman Brothers 50th anniversary show at MSG. Now, I was at one of the last Allman Brothers band shows at the Beacon Theater, October 21st, 2014. I'm looking at my poster as I record this. Look at these prices. Section 104, $179 for a ticket in Section 104 of Madison Square Garden through Ticketmaster. Keyword is Ticketmaster. Add on the fees is even more. You're pushing $200 for this 100 level ticket. This is where the lies show up about how bad StubHub is. $90. $90. Section 104, same section. All right. $90 plus fees, and Ticketmaster fees are much worse than StubHub. You can say what you want about StubHub. Their fees are not as bad as Ticketmaster. So there you go. It's your boy ConserViz34. My goal this year.
So that was actually, I thought that was something a little different, but that was, I showed you, hey, StubHub had a cheaper rate than Live, but you'll see the same ticket prices. You'll see the same seat, and the ticket will drop closer to event time. You'll see a ticket that's a platinum seat, and it'll go down. It may start off at this $525, and then the day of the show, it is, or even the week of the show, or 2 weeks before the show, that same what was it? That same ticket, like, it'll be the face value. So it'll be the 135 or whatever it is, 140, whatever the Woodlands is. You'll see about $135 ticket. I think the Woodlands did have a different price though for their lowers. I think it was more expensive. Justin says, I did some consulting for Ticket Network and CT a few years back. Cool company, free food when I was on site. Yeah, I know a couple people who work for Ticket Network because I was in Connecticut. Yeah. There. All right. So now, one of the things that this is where some people do not like, this is a frustration with DMB. I cannot confirm this. And this is also a challenge. And by the way, I actually don't like, as much as Ticketmaster has this platinum seat stuff and all this stuff, I do really think that Live Nation and Ticketmaster, you can still find seats. You just have to be patient. But I find seats all the time on Ticketmaster and Live Nation that are face value or below face value. Like, I really, like, most of my seats last year were Live Nation tickets. Like, the seats, I had my warehouse purchases from like 2 years ago that rolled over. But like, when I went to Guilford, I got Ticketmaster seats both nights. I got seats behind the sound. So like, as much as, listen, Ticketmaster is a business, and you can be mad. And listen, I get why people don't like Ticketmaster, but it's a business. And honestly, waiting it out, I've had good luck with Ticketmaster, right? I don't pay for platinum seats. The only place I would consider is SPAC. And even so, like, to me, SPAC is like the Super Bowl. So I would, like, if it's a little bit more, I'll pay for a $200 SPAC night 2 ticket. I'll pay almost $250. If it's a good seat at SPAC, it's night 2, right? I'll pay $250. Like, I mean, I haven't ever paid that much, but I would consider it because it's a unique situation. Now, not every place. I'm not paying for platinum in Houston, Woodlands, Texas. It's just north of the city of Houston, where the Woodlands is. But I'll pay a little more just to get in. I know the guy don't stop. They're gonna keep raising the prices. Listen, I have sat out shows, so I do have lines. I could afford to go to J. Cole last year. I had tons. I had money, but I refused to go because the ticket prices were so high. I wasn't paying the resale value just to be in the balcony of the TD Garden for $150, like in the back of the venue. Not worth it to me. So I said, no, I'm not going. I didn't buy anything. But there's certain things that everyone has their code. And listen, it's all based on what people are willing to pay. You know, I know it's a little different, but people will buy a poster for $2,000, $1,000. They'll buy $800 that was originally $60. And I know it's art and it's timeless. I have posters around here, but you can't buy a poster for $1,000 or 600, even like $300. A $60 poster for $300, and then be mad if somebody makes a personal decision to buy a ticket, a platinum seat, because they just want to get in. Again, I probably wouldn't do that for, especially for Houston. I'm only doing that for SPAC because SPAC is a Super Bowl. Yes, Deer Creek can get better sets, Alpine can, but SPAC has the smallest of the big venue of the major venues for DMB, SPAC, Alpine, Deer Creek, West Palm Beach. You could even put the Hollywood Bowl when it's there in the Gorge. SPAC is the hardest ticket. It is the smallest venue. It is the most intimate of the seating arrangements of all those venues. So, but here's the thing, and this is why people are frustrated with the warehouse, right? They want the warehouse to fight Ticketmaster. They want them to say, look, we're not going to have platinum seats at our shows. We're not going to allow you to list tickets at our shows for this. And we're going to leverage our performance and we're going to leverage ourselves to do so. Some people say that, hey, you know, Dave Matthews Band works out deals with Ticketmaster allegedly and Live Nation allegedly to allow them, the Live Nation, to sell platinum tickets, and they don't get those tickets for the warehouse. There's a lot of like different arguments and people, hey, this is allegedly what's going on. That can't be confirmed or denied. Like, I don't know. So people are upset at the warehouse for that. They think that the warehouse and the band should take more of a stand. What I'll say is this: listen, you can have that opinion. Listen, you could be right. This band talks about if you give, you begin to live. Oh, never mind. So Dave already telegraphed how he. Nah, I'm kidding. Let me stop. But yeah, you could say what you want, but listen, Dave has always been about his money too, right? He's not doing remember Kid Rock one year like had all like $30 tickets no matter where you sat. Never seen that for DMB, right? And yes, they have a big crew. They have to pay a lot of people, but listen, they got it. They get their money, right? They get their money. All right. People try to blame the warehouse and blame Ticketmaster, all this stuff. Listen, if Dave didn't want to do this, he could take a stand. Ed Sheeran took a stand, right? Pearl Jam. Now, the other thing too is this: it's all fly and jiggy to say you want Dave Matthews Band to take a stand, but when bands take a stand, even popular ones, they have relationship issues when they try to take a stand. Look at Pearl Jam. You know, Pearl Jam. Now, they typically do more baseball stadiums now, but part of that is they fought with Live Nation Ticketmaster so much that they kind of had to resort to some of these stadiums because Fenway Park, for instance, they're not, to my knowledge, it switches back and forth, but Fenway Park, they were using tickets.com. I don't know what they use now, but some of these ballparks don't use Live Nation Ticketmaster. Yankee Stadium will, right? But some of these baseball stadiums and football stadiums have a different Pacquiolin, tickets.com, or they have their own ticketing platform. But Pearl Jam has not had a coast-to-coast arena tour in ages. They were supposed to have a North American tour, and that got postponed. It still hasn't been put back on. So when you fight, even if you're Pearl Jam and you fight against Ticketmaster, it does damage what you can book in the long term. Also, Pearl Jam is lazy. I'm trying to see them in concert, right? I do like some of their music, and I do respect the energy. I want to feel that energy of a Pearl Jam show. They're so like they're not even torn. Some of it's they're lazy. Some of it is, I think, some of the venue stuff. Some of it was the pandemic was made to be as a scapegoat for why they weren't rescheduled. I don't know. Pearl Jam, get your lazy butts up and tour. I know that y'all just did a festival, right? Do a full North American tour. Stop neglecting us. Stop going to Europe. America first. I'm just kidding. Stop. Yeah. So I mean, to fight, it sounds flying jiggy, but when you fight Ticketmaster Live Nation, it can be costly, right? To your profit margins, to the deals you work out. They're not going to think you're coming in good faith if you're here to blast Ticketmaster. So they have to have these partners and relationships and different things. So it's tough. Let's see, what else do I have here? The most important thing I can tell you guys is to wait it out. Just wait it out. Again, and this isn't like, listen, some people, this actually works out for people, but a lot of people buy warehouse tickets and they're seat snobs, and they get their seat assignment and they don't like it, and they put them up on the warehouse boards. They put them up for sale. You could be in the parking lot, and 99.9% of the time, and this is someone who's worked again at StubHub. The good thing about warehouse tickets is they're kind of like, you can't really duplicate them. So if you get a look at the warehouse ticket, you hold it up under the light, you'll be able to, there's security features to make sure it's legit. And if you see someone in the parking lot and they have a warehouse ticket, you can buy it from them in the lot, right? You can go to the warehouse boards and do it there. Just be careful. But look at the post, how many posts they have, how they interact on the boards. But if someone's selling tickets on the warehouse boards, that's one of the benefits of being a warehouse member. The warehouse boards, everyone who sells on there has warehouse tickets. They like, so they're going to be from the band. They can't sell them for overface. You can report them because you can say, hey, so and so, this is their account, this is their username. They tried to sell me this for more, right? So they have to sell it to you for face value. And the face values are listed on the ticket and they're listed on the website for every show, because every show is a little bit different, especially this tour. Dallas and Houston don't have the same face value as Deer Creek and Alpine. But being a warehouse member, that $35 a year, whatever it is, I think, is it 35, 36? I can't remember. Just being on the warehouse boards, you'll be able to get some tickets, right? Other people will list tickets for sale, right? Again, check their history. Be careful, but check their history, right? See how they post. A lot of these different message boards, you can kind of tell, are they an admin, right? If it's a trusted, form, and if they're an admin, they're selling a ticket, chances are they're not going to rip you off. If they do, then you take screenshots, screenshot everything and then go from there. Address Facebook, right? Say, hey, this person in this admin, screwed me over for tickets. Report them. So that's kind of where I just wanted to go over some of that stuff. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, or bring them to this weekend, Saturday. We'll look to talk some DMB. Let's see. I will be doing some Fish content this weekend. They're doing their Mexico shows, so there will be some Fish content that'll take over the weekend. But Wednesdays and Saturdays for the off season of the DMB tour, expect me to go live 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for some of the support, and don't forget to hit the like button. But I've been getting a lot of new people hopping in and out of here. Had a special show after the ticket confirmations on Monday, and got some Instagram folks to come over, and some of them subscribe, like Brianna, DM Brianna 10. She subscribed to the channel, the YouTube channel. So I appreciate you guys. If you're watching the replay, or if you feel like, oh, I missed this, I don't have time at 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to sleep, you can always watch the replay. Hit the like button, watch the replay. It's the same effect as watching it live for me. You're viewing my content, and I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Any thoughts, any opinions, any questions, any ideas for shows, feel free to put them in the comments. This is a platform I made for everyone to have a discussion, to look at different viewpoints, to discuss what we love about this band, what we may not like so much, and everything in between. And I am the only person that is doing this on YouTube this often. We have so many great other people in the DMB community on podcasts, Corner of Gray Street, DMB on Demand. You have some other people on Instagram, but YouTube is where I say, hey, let's have a talk show. Let's have a post game, like a ESPN post game show, but for DMB. That's what I'm trying to create on here, and I'm expanding to Fish. John Mayer content is also going to be in while he's touring. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to end. Let's get some. Let's see. Give me 1 second. We're gonna get a Dream So Real. Now we'll close out with the Dream So Real. Rest in peace, Leroy Moore. He's amazing on this song. All right. That's my show for today. Like I said, hit the like button, subscribe. I will see you guys later. Follow me on Twitter, Conserviz34. Subscribe. I'm actually 4 subscriptions away from 800. Help me to get to 800. Tell your friends to subscribe and check out the channel so I can get to 800 subscriptions. Hoping to get to 1,000 soon, but we got to get to 800. And I'm hoping, my main thing is I want people who are going to, I want subscription people to subscribe, but I really want to win you guys over, win new fans over, and create, again, the place to hang out on YouTube to talk DMB. It's your boy Conserviz34. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Be well, be safe.
What I feel the most unthinkable thing is that somehow I will never again feel my arms around you. When I'm gone, too far away, try to remember your eyes, make you laugh. Keep me going, a little more with broken just